So, what are we dealing with today? We have football. Football.
Yes, the football world governing body.
We are going to focus on how FIFA is fisting the pals out of Africa football body, CAF.
The hegemony of FIFA on African football.
FIFA.
Yes.
Corruption.
Simple.
So if you're a footballer been fan like I am, that's it. Definitely you should be subscribing to this channel because that's what we do here. Now let's talk a little bit about football. Something that so many people are passionate about because we've got so many football-loving Africans.
Yes, the football world governing body, FIFA, is famous for quite a few things. That's also football. But they're also infamous for a few things, such as corruption.
Since 2017, FIFA has been accused of pulling the strings on key decision issues from its base in Switzerland.
That is the elephant in the room. You see, CAF is not a member of FIFA. The individual countries of CAF, the African countries who are members of CAF, are also members of FIFA. So what does that thing FIFA got to do with CAF? It began in 2007 when FIFA came in and backed Ahmad Ahmad from Madagascar against Issa Hayatou from Cameroon. That was in the CAF election. Issa Hayatou had been president of CAF for 29 years. You would say, well, it's about time that he goes, right? Of course, when FIFA supported Ahmad Ahmad, what happened? Ahmad Ahmad won against Hayatou, a veteran. The thing is, we're not supporting Issa Hayatou, right? We're just telling you exactly what happened and how FIFA meddled into CAF.
You might think that that's a coincidence, but wait until you hear this. 2 years into his actual presidency at CAF, Ahmad Ahmad was actually accused of breaching governance rules by sponsoring a trip to Mecca for his cohorts at CAF with CAF money.
Eventually, FIFA Ethics Code banned him for violation of the Ethics Code. FIFA Secretary General Fatima Zemmoura was then tasked to oversee the operations of CAF, which begs the question, what exactly gave FIFA the right to do what it did?
No one, but the story continues in 2021 because the Court of Arbitration for Sports lifted the 5-year ban that FIFA had placed on Ahmad Ahmad. So Ahmad Ahmad was cleared to run from the presidency, and he did run. And this is where the interesting part comes in.
Ahmad Ahmad wanted to contest in the last CAF presidential elections, and the Malagasy even received support from 46 of the 54 member associations of CAF. But he was no more in the good books of FIFA, and just a month to the elections, they made sure that he was kicked out of the ballot boxes. Even some of the CAF executive members, most of whom were holding lucrative positions at FIFA, also snubbed him.
After this, FIFA's Gianni Infantino decided to take matters into his own hands, and he decided to install a new administration at CAF. 4 other candidates had actually expressed interest in the CAF presidency, but FIFA didn't really seem to be too interested in a democratic process.
So Infantino, in the name of African football, decided to meddle in. He flew with Qatar Airways in the middle of the pandemic, and then he went to Egypt, the headquarters of CAF, and then he met all 4 leaders. And just right after that, he traveled to 10 African countries within 11 days, in the midst of the pandemic. And he meddled, he met leaders, he met decision makers, and he met government leaders, presidents, prime ministers, just to rally them behind the candidate that he was working on.
Shortly after the trip, things started to fall in place for Infantino. So the first 2 candidates who were running for presidency, that's Augustin Senghor from Senegal and Ahmed Yahya from Mauritania, stepped down from the race, and they were later appointed first and second vice presidents, respectively. A few days later, the 3rd candidate also stepped down, that's Jacques Anouma from Ivory Coast, and he was appointed advisor to the person who eventually became president, that's Patrice Motsepe from South Africa.
And Infantino did not stop there. Some of the aspirants said they were forced to pull out their candidacy because FIFA had intervened there. And also, with the intervention of FIFA, the number of deputy presidents were increased from 3 to 5.
Yes, simple. That is the beauty of FIFA democracy.
However, one positive spin in this whole FIFA agenda would be the successful scheme to install a woman. Comoros' Kanizat Ibrahim is now the 5th vice president of the all-men club. She is the first ever female in the role, but see where it came from. She has been the head of the normalization committee for Comoros.
FIFA did not stop there. In fact, a day after the General Assembly of CAF, it was announced that Swiss Congolese Veron Mosengo Omba was going to be the new Secretary General of CAF. Not forgetting that Veron is a friend to Infantino and is a former FIFA employee. Infantino did not shy off from these actions. In fact, he justified them.
FIFA and Infantino had their way, and they've settled it. Now there is unity. They've made it through. The African football is now united, and now FIFA can concentrate to other regions like CONCACAF. Yeah, it's a difficult name. Sorry if I don't get it right there. But now FIFA can concentrate on other regions of the world, because you know what? Out of the 211 members of FIFA, 54 has been secured for Infantino's re-election. Of course, that's what it's going to be. And the new president of CAF, Patrice Motsepe, is there. Everything is secured. He's loved by the members. He's loved in Africa. Fans and ordinary people love him. And he's got FIFA's money and FIFA's back. And of course, he's so rich to be incorruptible. Of course, I'm being sarcastic.
That's it for Just Africa this week. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And we'll see you at the next video.